Hi everyone, Debbie here, lesson number 16, come on in. I'll just open the windows a little bit in case I want to get a little bit of a breeze. So today we're doing more on the digestive system. So lying down, we're doing all fairly well on the floor exercises today. So no down dog, but hop into your normal positions here, bringing your flesh back from your bottom. Sitting upright, stacking that spine on top of each other as best you can. Should be getting good at that. Arms in the air, straight up, leaving that gap and just bringing them down in front of us and then switching on a little bit of that core and just curving down, rolling down very slowly, super duper 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 slow, every vertebrae touching, until you come all the way onto the floor and you let your hands just fall to where they need to fall, legs slightly apart and relaxed. If you need to, you can lift your lower back and peel that back down again until it's really comfortable, and lift your head, allowing that neck to be long. Big breath in, big breath out, closing down those eyes, starting to really feel like you're getting so used to connecting to the earth now. You're getting so used to looking within. As soon as you close your eyes, you really are. You're looking within to your higher self, your third eye, your soul inside your heart. You're also relaxing every muscle and melting it onto the floor, onto your mat, your little sanctuary, and even into the earth if you wanted to think about being on a lovely, soft, grassy bed. And letting that lawn or that grass just curve and caress you, and the Mother Earth energy from underneath, coming from the very core of the earth, up, 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 through all those layers, all those tables, all those beautiful layers of Mother Earth, sand, soil, rock, water, and then you're just feeling it coming into your whole back now, as if you're coming along through your spine, and your spine is lighting up from that energy, and emanating out from there is lovely earth, Mother Earth hurts, filling your body from behind. And while you're laying there, imagining the cosmic energy coming from the depths of the universe, light years, trillions of light years out to the edges of space, and that's drawing back down through that black hole of our little Milky Way, starry little fairy lights, past the planets, past the stars and the moon, into the day sky, into the ceiling, and pouring into your whole body at the front. Your face, your forehead, your jaw is relaxing, chest, tummy, pelvic bucket, legs, feet. So it's just a different way of taking in the energies today that we're experimenting, and our imagination is so clear of that big orange ball in the centre of the earth turning, creating the movement of the earth into night and day. And we know what the stars are like at night, how velvety black, inky black the sky is and the space is. And for those stars to shine bright, it needs to be black. So everything is perfectly made for us to live our lives in a beautiful, restful state at night and a live state during the day, taking energy from the sun. Just playing some bowls while you continue to lie there and preparing just quietly for a lovely day of more floor exercises, getting in touch with your internal physical body as well as now your mental and your emotional and your spiritual body. work with our body and get through these poses. I always run out of time. So while you're lying there and bringing yourself back into your body a little bit more and feeling your fingers moving just slightly and your toes just twinkling. This bowl is still resonating here. And just moving those ankles backwards and forwards along with your head, just slightly rolling it and massaging the back of that occipital bone, loving to let go of the tightness and the tension and the hurry and the worry of the day and be in this present moment for the next half an hour. So while we're lying here, I'm wanting to start from this position and I'm wanting to tell you about the happy baby pose. Now it's a really good one again for squashing your tummy, but you start with the right hand side first. So I'm just going to bring that up there. We'll do one leg at a time. So you literally got your knee and heel and ankle over the top of your knee. So if you can possibly reach the top side, the outside of your foot, you can. If you can't, just reach, you know, your calf or your knee. If you have bad knees, just behind your knee, and just bring that in. But if you possibly can, again, switching this side on, try and grab the outside of that foot and just bring that knee under, as if you're directing it towards your armpit. Bringing it down closer and closer, and on the out breath, letting go and surrendering and softening until you can get it right down. Try to keep this hip on the ground though, and you're really stretching all through your lower back and the hamstrings there. Breath in, breath out, and just letting that leg slide down. Now bringing this one up. Now what we're going to do here is the same thing. So again, you're coming in with really close towards your armpit, grabbing hold of the outside of the foot or your calf muscle, your knee, anywhere at all to start with, switching that other leg on down there, holding onto your hip, and you're literally trying to keep that shoulder, mine's up in the air a little bit, but you watch, on the out breath, bringing that knee further and further towards the floor, towards your armpit, and your shoulder can come back down and softly try and reach everything a little bit further, keeping that ankle over that knee though, and not quite am I onto the ground there, and that's okay. So we let go of that, but then just bend those legs and the knees, because what we're going to do now is bring both of those legs up. So it requires switching on that core, zip that pair of jeans up and that other zipper from each hip across to that belly button. So switch that on, lift both legs up like that. Now you're going to have to use a little bit of your core to bring your feet towards you. Grab hold of the outside of that foot, the outside of that foot, or again your shins or behind your knees. And you literally become a happy baby. So you're really pulling that knee towards the earth and the thighs, really squashing the tummy. And if you want to, you can literally rock and roll like a little baby would. Yeah, the crows are back. And a little rock here, and a little rock there, and a little massage that lower back. And nice big breath in and nice big breath out, and really surrendering, let that tummy be really soft. And see if you can bring those legs a bit closer to the earth. Feels great. So just gently letting go, and then coming to on your feet are pretty well level to where your bum bones are. So if you're sitting on somebody's lap and they go, my God, you've got a bony bum, that's these bones. It's called the ischium. Ischium, yeah. So then you bring those heels fairly close to your bottom, so about a fist away. And what we're going to do, we've got that switched on again, bring that switched on. Arms are really solidly along the mat and along the floor, because we're going to heel our spine up, and we're going to lift our whole pelvis towards the ceiling, keeping our neck straight. And we're going to hold here for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, and rolling each vertebrae all the way back down and lowering that lower back down. Now we're going to do that again. So just get yourself into position, like really you need a nice strong base of your shoulders, because we want a little bit this time to come a little bit up higher onto those shoulders. So again, feet are really spread, pressing our feet into the earth and then switching on that core and then rolling and just coming up and peeling ourselves right up. Now try and literally lift yourself up a little bit onto those shoulders and pushing in with your hands 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, and just peeling back down. Might have to just bring those shoulder blades back out, but just slowly coming down and literally laying that pelvis very straight right at the end. So this time when we come up, we're going to actually grab hold of our hands underneath our body. So you can watch me to start with and then we'll do it again. So I'm just going to peel myself up like we have been, putting those shoulder blades under a little bit like that, reaching your hand under and cupping them together, and you're literally pushing your upper arms and your arms all the way as if they're touching as much as they can the floor, and you're also pushing up high towards the ceiling, and we're going to hold for 10. So see how you go with that one, everyone. So big breath in, big breath out, peeling up slowly all the way up with that groin, and then coming under with one shoulder blade, the other shoulder blade, grabbing hold of your hands and literally pushing your elbows into the earth and your hands down, pushing your pelvis up, keeping that spine straight and that pelvic floor switched on so that that sacrum and that coccyx is pointed to the corner of the room where the wall joins the ceiling. Pushing, 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 nearly there. I've counted to 10 in my mind. And 9,000, 10,000, and letting your shoulders come out gently and rolling back down. Really great, everyone. Bringing one knee in just for a stretch the opposite way with that spine. The other leg comes in, two legs together, bringing them together. If you can wrap your inner elbows and really bring them in and towards your chest like that. And if you have sore knees, of course you can do that. Okay. Coming down and lying on our sides now, ready to sit up. We're going to push ourselves up, remember, with those elbows. And I'm going to sit back towards the back of the mat because I want you to see my feet there. That's good. So sitting up straight here, nice flesh out from underneath. That's it, getting right onto those bum bones. Now what we're going to do, we're going to leave one leg straight and switched on, and we're going to bring the other one up and we're going to cross it over about knee height there. Big breath in, sitting up really tall with our spine. If you need your pillow to be underneath your bottom or two pillows to pivot you forward a bit in that pelvic area, definitely do it. But we've got ourselves nice and straight and we're sort of hugging our knee a little bit. But what we're going to do with the same straight leg, we're going to have a straight arm. The other one's going to come around, so the same side as the bent knee comes around and supports you at the back, lifting you up, pushing you up, keeping you straight. This one here comes down and comes across that knee, and you turn it and look at the back. Don't have to turn right to the back. You'll squeeze your neck off too much if they do that, and that's not what we want. We don't want that jammed up. So just a little bit around to the side, breathing in, breathing out, and you can imagine what that's doing to the tummy, giving it a good squeeze. Just like I said yesterday with that rag, that you're squeezing a rag out, you're squeezing your organs here. And nice breath and coming back around and just putting that foot back into position there, going lifting the flesh, taking the opposite foot up about knee level, You know, you can just sort of keep it pointing fairly close to the front, lifting that spine up, stacking those vertebrae, switching that straight leg on, and then we're going to take that arm up in the air, hold there if we can, because that's using our core, reach around with that opposite hand. So the hand that's supporting us at the back can be on spider hands, or it can be on a flat hand, but the one up in the air, it's got to come over and down across our knee, and we lift up again, and we just turn and it go as far as we can, and again every out breath, all the way surrendering and squashing that tummy more and more, giving it a really good rinse, looking at over our shoulder, towards our shoulder anyway. Even taking your eyes that far around. Nice breath in, nice breath out, and uncoiling from that position there. So next we're going to spin around completely, and we're just going to come up on all fours, just like we normally do. Instead of cat and cow, we're just going to do a couple of circles around with the whole body. Just get a little bit of organic movement happening, just around and then around the other way. And then even we can come the third time around, but we can sort of come up and over our hands and then right back near our feet, and do that a couple of times, and come to our feet and then come back round. And we're really just oiling up the hips, the knees, and then coming back to this position here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to just come back, standing up, switching that core on, getting those tight perigenes happening, and we're going to try and lean back to one heel and stretch up. Stretching up in the air like that, nice for our tummy to be open, pressing your hips and your thighs towards the wall in front of your body. Breathing here, breathing in, breathing out, not hanging your head back, hanging your head and holding your head strong. Coming back up, the other one goes down, the other arm goes up, and you lean back, but you're pushing with your groin towards the wall in front of you. Big breath in, big breath out. And then using your core, lifting up out of that position. And now we're going to come down, everyone, and we're going to come down onto our tummy. So get plenty of room, and maybe let's make it an effort to come down. So we've got our knees out, we're nearly into plank from our knees, but we can bring our bottom up a little bit, but we're just going to dive down with our chest and get those arms and shoulders really strong, pushing back the earth, and we're just going to bend these elbows inwards and come all the way and peel ourselves onto the floor. Just for a moment, really relaxing everything, stacking your hands and looking one way, relaxing your bottom, relaxing your midriff. Just this pose is actually good for your stomach and for digestion. So even this pose will help you. Squashing your tummy gently with your breath. Every breath is pushing that floor, stretching and squashing those organs. And so coming to the front with our head forward on our hands now. And what we're going to do, we're going to switch these legs really on, really tight. Try and keep them together. And we're just going to lift up for a moment, and we're just going to lift up and hover out like that. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. And pop your hands down and rest your head the opposite way and let everything flop again. Be soft, relaxing and breathing. Letting that tummy spread onto the floor. Next time we're going to come around and we're going to put our forehead on our hands, but we're going to just move our hands out and let our third eye just press gently into the mat, and we're going to reach one hand towards, so we can do the left arm and the right foot.
And we're going to go up with our arm, but then up with our leg. And we're still suspending it and helping ourselves with this hand here, and we're just going to hover. So if you've done that with me, let's do it again, and we'll do it for 10. Breathe in, breathe out, switch that core on first though, pushing that pelvis into the mat so that you've got your bottoms really switched on. Coming up with your arm and your leg, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, pointing, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, reaching, 10,000 and coming down. Swapping your hand in and just sitting on your forehead for a moment with your hands stacked underneath you, and we're going to take the other hand out now and reach it to in front of us. And we can keep the other one just there, but just put your forehead, your third eye onto the mat for the moment. This arm's going to sort of be like a foundation. So we're going to be lifting this time the right arm but the left leg. So we're going to switch on with that core, pushing our pelvis and our groin into the earth, sucking up that tummy, switching on that bottom, coming up with our arm and coming up with our opposite leg. So we're going across the body. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 and coming down and resting on your hands. And you can rest to one side or you can rest straight ahead, looking down at the floor. Sometimes it's nice to just get a good big breath of air into that tummy again, massaging that tummy. Okay, so this time we're going to come around and we're going to put our forehead on the floor but our arms either side of us. So this time, because we're reaching up, we're going to reach up and we're going to be like we're coming out of a parachute. We're coming out of a plane and we're parachuting. So ready to go everyone, switching that core, pushing that pelvic pubic bone into the earth, tummy's up and really strong, bottom switched on, legs are ready to go strong, reaching up our chest, lifting up our arms, lifting up our legs, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 9,000, 10,000, coming down with our head on the opposite side. We don't need to bring our hands up this time because we're going to go straight into another 10. Breathing and relaxing on the out breath. The feet don't have to be so close together this time. And getting ready, head and forehead onto the floor, switching that pubic bone on, that tummy's up, those arms are getting ready to be strong, lifting the chest, lifting the arms, lifting the legs, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 and coming looking at the other side now. Great job everyone, because this is tough stuff. So this next one, it's called the boat pose. And we're going to grab hold of one foot first and then the other foot and then see if we can grab both feet, but not at the same time of course. So I'll just show you first. So again, I'm switching on, pushing down, lifting my chest up, bringing one foot towards there, and I see how my knee's coming off the ground and my arm is really pushing and pulling against the leg that's going the opposite direction. So my foot's going towards the opposite wall and coming back down. So let's try that everybody. After 2, 1, 2, lifting your chest, bringing your foot towards your hand, grabbing hold of where you can, lifting that knee, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. And just as you let go, just keep hold of your foot if you can and give that front of that thigh a really good stretch towards your heel, towards your bottom. Nice. And letting go. And let's do the other side. So it's quite difficult. If you're having trouble, you can use your hand to come up and go like that. Otherwise, if you're strong enough, keep your arms down for the opposite side. So we're going to come up now. So switching everything on inside here, pushing down, keeping everything really rigid, coming up, bringing that foot towards your hand. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, and letting go, giving that stretch of that leg again towards the bottom. And softening and letting that really come in towards your, really giving it a stretch through the front of the thigh, and really a good stretch towards the bottom and letting go. Now, that's why our arms are here. I'll just show you what we're going to be doing next. One foot first and then the second one, and we're going to do 10 of that, okay? So we're going to try and do both. If you can't do it, just do one side for 5,000 and swap to the other side for 5,000 like we've just done now. So again, everybody who's continuing with me, forward, pressing onto the floor, the third eye, switching everything on in your groin and in your pelvis, switching it all and pushing it down, reaching with your head up, reaching with one hand, grabbing the other ankle and lifting both knees up in the air. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, and bringing those heels in if you can and letting go. Really having a well-deserved rest here, letting go of everything, softening into the earth, into the floor, into your mat, breathing. And next move is going to be the child's pose. So bringing your hands up underneath in front of your shoulders and just tucking your toes under and lifting yourself up slowly, bringing your knees out to the edges of the mat, your big toes together, and again coming down to that very, very lovely, nurturing, restorative child's pose. Breathing, softening, melting. I'm just going to have a look at the time. See, the half an hour goes so quick. So let's spin around and let's just come into a pose. Just a quick stretch, leg out as far as we can. The other one bent in close to the heel, close to the groin. Lifting up straight. Bringing our hand the same as the leg. See if we can reach onto the inner side of that foot. Lifting the other one up, and we're coming over sideways. Try not and come around that way. So we're sort of coming up, looking at our hand at the side, and then reaching over as far as we can. Giving this lovely side of our body a nice stretch. And you can keep that arm really firm. You can try and come around and reach your toes. But the whole idea is we're keeping that midriff towards the front. Some people, you can bring it right around and tuck it underneath this thigh here, and that makes your shoulder go back further into the air, looking into the ceiling and letting go on the out breath. So bringing that leg in, the other one's fairly long along the mat, so if you're at the back of your mat, you sort of got it still on your mat. This other one's coming in here with your knee down. If you need your pillows, go and get them and put them underneath you, and even one here. Say if your knee was up in the air like that, you can pop your knee onto there and you can still do the stretch. If you need to do that, please do that. So lovely big breath in, stacking that spine really tall. We're going to reach with the same hand into the inner part of our foot like that, and we're sideways coming up and over with our hand, and we're just looking and doing the Rexona moment a bit underneath our armpit, giving it a bit of a sniff and straightening that arm and stretching that top arm, really lengthening and curving through that whole side body, letting go on the out breath. Really lovely stretch, that one. And reaching to your toes and then coming back up
Very good. We can actually lie down now because it's pretty well, time's gone like that. Okay, you know what to do here. Get yourself prepared and really high, straight back, proud and rolling down and curving down. And all those sticky bits from the spine that were a bit clunky before should be lovely and smooth to roll down after we've done all our back and all our tummy work today. Has helped our back as well. To keep your tummy strong, you need to have that back strong and vice versa. Your front should be like a corset that keeps your lower back really supported. And that's what we've done today. That's what we're building on. So that's really good. I need a drink. You guys, I want you to close down those eyes. And we might finish with the rattle today. And I might chase away any old thoughts or any old patterns that you may be getting into thinking, and I'm going to chase them away with the rattle. So closing down those eyes, we'll start with the bowls anyway. Thanking your body. You've really done an amazing job today because that was quite tough. And yet they say floor exercises are easy. Well, not really. They can test us, can't they? And test us in a good way. Imagining that earth, that hurts energy of Mother Earth, coming up and caressing you and wrapping around your shoulders and your spine, your hips and your backs of your thighs, all through your legs. Shoulders, backs of the arms touching the earth, your head touching the earth. And cosmos energy pouring in through the ceiling, through the roof, touching your face, your chest, your tummy, your swollen, soft tummy that's been really exercised inside and out. Thighs, shins, tops of the feet. You know, the yin energy is the front of our body and the yang energy is behind us. So in this case, we've got the opposite. We've got the yin energy of Mother Earth caressing the masculine side of our back. And we have the feminine front of our body in touch with Father Universe. So we have that balance already today. important to stay there. Continue with your meditation. Most important to integrate the physical with the mental, the emotional and the spiritual. I'm going to sit here on my cushion and finish in the appropriate manner so that we know we've completed our class today with our fingers pressing close to our heart and waking up that beautiful heart of ours. And I'm doing that for you, and I'm saying namaste on your behalf. Enjoy your day, your evening, your life. Have a lovely day, and thank you so much for joining me.